The Godfather is a crime novel written by Italian-American author Mario Puzo. Mario Puzo was born in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood of New York City, into a poor Italian-American family from Pietra de Fusi, a small town of the province of Avellino in the Campania region of Italy. Many of his books draw heavily on his Italian heritage. After graduating from Columbia University, he joined the United States Army Air Forces in World War II. Due to his poor eyesight, the military did not let him undertake combat duties but made him a public relations officer. Mario Puzo's most famous work, The Godfather, was encouraged by a suggestion of the publisher of his book The Fortune Pilgrim, who thought that if there was more mafia that it would have been more successful. A story outline was prepared and presented to the publisher, who rejected it. After several publishers were approached, Putnam editors met with him without having read the outline. He told them a few stories and the project was approved. He had heard anecdotes about the mafia organizations during his time in pulp journalism. He found his audience with the novel, a #1 bestseller for months on the New York Times bestseller list. After 3 years, the book was later developed into the film The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola met with Mario Puzo and wrote the screenplay. The book and the movie focus on the Corleones, an Italian-American mafia family. The leader of the family is wise and aging Vito. He has 4 children, arrogant and cocky Sonny, Fredo, whom everyone assumes isn't too bright, Michael, who doesn't want anything to do with his family business, and Connie, the youngest child of Vito. The plot of the book and the movie is about a gang war between the Corleones and the other 4 families of New York. After turning down a deal with drug dealer Virgil the Turk Salazzo, Vito is gunned down. Sonny becomes the head of the family, with Michael helping to keep the family together despite his wishes.
Okay.
Michael is the youngest son of Carmela and Don Vito Corleone. In contrast with his brothers, he wants nothing to do with the Corleone family business, wanting instead to lead a more Americanized life. Vito does not want Michael to be involved in the mafia either, hoping instead that his favorite son will enter politics. When his father is nearly assassinated by drug kingpin Virgil Salazzo just before Christmas, he enters into the world he has avoided for so long. He reaffirms his loyalty at his father's bedside, then thwarts a second attempt on his father's life by Salazzo and a corrupt NYPD officer who breaks his jaw. Later arguing that Salazzo will likely take another run at Vito, he volunteers to kill both Salazzo and the officer. Sonny, who is running the family in their father's absence,
Le prometto e vi giuro,
it has long been a hard and fast
sulla testa dei miei nipotini, che non
non
sarò io il primo a rompere la pace stipulata oggi.
But since the officer is a corrupt policeman serving as Salazzo's bodyguard, he has crossed into their world and is fair game. Michael kills both men at a restaurant, and following the murders, Michael flees to Sicily, where he lives for 2 years under the watch of a family friend. While there, he learns that Sonny has been murdered. and Michael returns to the United States in the spring of 1951 when he becomes Don of the Corleone family after his father's death in 1955. Even though Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola worked together on the set of The Godfather, and both movie and novel summarize the crime life of the Corleone family, the film and the novel have their differences. There are 4 significant differences between the two. The first and the biggest is that Fredo Corleone lives in the novel but dies in the movie. In the novel, Fredo is passed over and ignored, moving to Las Vegas. However, in the film, Fredo is killed. He is executed on behalf of Michael's demands when he figures out that Fredo has betrayed him. The second significant difference is the character Hyman Roth. In the film, Roth is the big mastermind behind the Michael Corleone assassination attempt.
Don't ask me about my business, Kate.
And he is the main protagonist, a Jewish gangster. Mario Puzo has no mention of this character at all in the novel. The large difference is with Michael's wife, Kay Adams. In both films and the novel, she is unhappy with Michael's life as a gangster and they have 2 kids. But the movie has an extreme difference. In the second movie, Michael believes that Kay has had a miscarriage, but she later admits that she has had an abortion. Another large difference is with Vito Corleone. Being the Don of New York City, his life is always in jeopardy. He is like the president. In both pieces of work, he dies of natural causes eventually. However, the novel is a little more violent towards the Don. In the novel, Vito is not only shot once by rival crime boss Virgil Salazzo, he is shot earlier by Irish stick-up artists. Mario Puzo does that to illustrate the Irish-Italian rivalry. The book and the movie are both considered pieces of art. The movie received 3 Academy Awards, including Mario Puzo's Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo then collaborated on sequels, The Godfather Part 2 and The Godfather Part 3.